Okay, we'll go ahead and get the official portion of the meeting called to order. We have a quorum present. Everybody was emailed the minutes of the last meeting. Can I get a comment on the minutes?
Motion to approve.
A motion to approve, seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, treasurer's report is handed out. Everybody look at.
Motion to approve is presented.
Got a motion and seconded to approve the treasurer's report. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, enforcement notifications. I have Jose Rivera. I do have his certification was suspended, and I don't know the part number, but can't seem to find the actual notification.
You can look it up online.
We'll get it and we'll put it in the official.
Yeah, it's probably right here.
Jose Rivera.
Jose Rivera, 2870 Lamport Place, Bronx, New York. EMT number is 394927. Revoked effective 4/2/19 for violations of 10 New York CRR Part 800.16A4. Old business. I left mutual aid plans on there, but I think we've discussed that. I don't think we need any more discussion on that. Our contract with STEMS that we discussed at the last meeting, the corrections were made. We looked at them, and the contract was signed and approved. I have a copy of it if anybody would like to see it. New business. I have received long forms from Cat County and Chautauqua County training plans.
We have the short form from Olean General here.
And Mickey has the short forms from Olean General.
We have Allegheny County too.
Oh, what did I say?
You said Chautauqua.
Oh, I meant Chautauqua and or I meant Allegheny and Cattaraugus. Oh, so those are just an approval we bring up, correct?
Yeah, you have to get a motion on those so that we can approve them so we can move them forward to the state.
Okay, can I get a motion to approve the Cattaraugus County?
Individually or as a group?
2-minute group.
Yeah.
Okay, we get a motion to approve the Cattaraugus and Allegheny County training plans. Motion made by Dan.
Second.
Seconded by Ron.
So you did Cattaraugus, Allegheny, and OGH.
Oh, I forgot OGH.
Okay. Yeah. Just want to make sure that you guys.
Oh, that changes everything.
That's what the motion was.
That's what I think I said.
Okay, do we have any other new business?
I do.
Okay.
We got a grant through STEMS, West Valley Volunteer Fire Department did, and we got our system like they got here, and it's on the cart or whatever. So.
Small.
And it's set up, but it hasn't been tested yet, so we're gonna have it get tested so we can start offering the programs at West Valley Firehouse.
Awesome. Great.
And we do have, part of our grant, we got new equipment for Jones, which we are diligently working with them. It's kind of hard now that they're with Rochester. Got to jump through a couple extra hoops. And we also got money for the Seneca Nation in Irving, but they've had some changeover there too, so we're trying to figure out who to work with here. So we have a total of 8 sites? 8 sites when we're all said and done with this. And we submitted a new application with extended sites, and we're actually looking to extend out to Mountain Lakes area so that they could get what we are beaming out and they can beam out too. So I think we're getting great feedback. Gary has like 36 people usually at their site. I'm interested to see how West Valley does because again, it's kind of far away in northern. So see if they get a cluster there too. And if you can keep giving us topic ideas, we'll keep pushing them out.
Great, excellent.
Well, I was thinking if the presenters are coming from Buffalo, they could just drive to
They
West
could.
Valley instead of
Yep.
all the way down here.
Yep.
That might be enticing enough.
The simulation. So I also got a call that if I put in a grant, that there would be some possible monies that I'd have to spend by June 30th. So we put in to do simulation education for our instructors. I am diligently working with Kyle Bates to try to get him here June 28th, 29th, and 30th. And we will be able to do basically instruction for the instructors on how to use simulation and how to teach with different modalities and those types of things. So unfortunately, it's very quick. It's through HRI, and they are very restrictive on their timing. So I'm really hoping that we can get it in time. And we haven't heard yet, but we are in the last process for our high fidelity mannequins through ARC. No, the ARC. So hopefully, we were supposed to hear in April, maybe October, I don't know. But I'm told we are in the final stage. So hopefully we'll have 2 high fidelity mannequins that can be used for instruction.
Now, are they going to be primarily like for trauma or for medical?
We put in for trauma HAL, and then we put in for kid one. I don't know what
But
it's
the
called.
trauma HAL can be used for medical.
Yeah.
It just has the additional trauma, like its legs come off and stuff.
Yeah, my fear is that there are some sim mans locally,
Mhm.
and that might bode not so well for us. Meaning the hospital has sim man.
Yeah, these are not the same.
Okay.
They have Laerdals, which are more for clinical, but Trauma HAL does do medications, and you can do all the medical, but Trauma HAL can also bleed, and you can change pulse rates and
Can
it's all-
trauma HAL deliver a baby?
No.
Only Big Mama can.
Well, we did bring baby one here. Who did it? Catholic Health.
Catholic Health.
And we had a lot of people that came. I don't know if any of you came, but they brought the birthing mannequin here, and we got really good feedback from that. So if it's something that people feel we need, we will bring that here again.
Okay, Ron?
Just want to remind everybody that my term on state council is up at the end of the year. We're going to need to send in 2 names with CVs or resumes. They say the vetting process is quicker now, so I think we would have to make a decision at our October meeting. So everybody probably needs to get a hold of Ed if they're interested. But we have to send 2 names in. If somebody really doesn't want to do it, and the other one does, we can make the resume look bad, I suppose. So,
Are there 2 open seats or just one?
One.
Just one?
And they get to choose of
They
your
choose.
2 who they pick.
right. So if we send it in, if we have to vote on somebody, or there's only the 2, send them in right after the October meeting, and they should get vetted, whoever should get vetted by the end of the year. If we send them in too soon, there's an issue because if they get vetted, it bounces me off potentially, and there are some issues with that. But according to Val, it's about 2 months. We send it in the 1st of October.
So you don't want to be reappointed, or you can't?
I cannot be. No. I'm phasing out of everything anyway, Bill.
You can serve until the vetting process is complete, though, correct?
I serve till the 31st. But the next meeting will be in January.
Was Brian's term similar to that, or was yours?
I think
I think I just redid yours.
Yeah, I think I was reappointed. Do I have a term limit?
Don't worry about
I don't think so.
Do we need to come up with a couple names now?
No, you don't have term limit, but we did have
Have
to.
to reapply, yeah.
Yeah, I want to say we did it last year.
We should talk about it next, we should put it on the agenda for next
For next
meeting.
meeting, I'll have
So
it.
if somebody's interested, should they
email you for discussion, or?
Sure. We can get some names for the next meeting, and then we'll have a month or 2 months to
Yeah,
talk
you can
about
make
it, and then
yeah.
we'll make the decision in October.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else under new business?
And I think I read someplace that Director Greenberg might be open to the possibility of running distance paramedic learning sites without a CIC.
We do that
Did
now.
anybody,
No, it's,
I mean,
there has to be a CIC for the program, but if the class is being taught at one location, there's a CIC there. The other location then would not necessarily have to have a CIC. They could have somebody who's good with the technology.
okay, so that's something new though, right?
That is a
we
change.
call it a consider.
Yeah.
What the director's concept of operations there is that anybody that's going to do either synchronous learning or distance learning, all those programs still have to be approved. But what they did is they said that there would have to be one CIC at the one site, and either a minimum of a CLI at the other site, or if they look for an exemption, which would have to be pre-approved, somebody who's familiar with the administrative manual, the policies and procedures, and all those kinds of things, so that they would be ensuring that the class is in the appropriate structure and format and that kind of stuff. But all that stuff would just have to be pre-approved through the education department. But they did allow for a non-CIC to be at the secondary site.
You had to submit a plan too that said basically if the site went down, you'd reschedule the site that didn't have a CIC
Right.
to redo that material. You couldn't just let that person teach it then.
Okay, but that was, as I recall, that was one of the big impediments to us having distance learning in Allegheny County was that in order to afford to have the CIC, we needed to have a minimum of like 8 people or something, right?
Correct.
And if we don't have to pay for a CIC, then that might be able to run a course with less people. Is that a possibility, or?
They're still gonna have to cover costs, and I'm not sure what direction that will go. But I think it opens the door to possibilities. We just have to make sure it doesn't take away from the opportunity for education, because sometimes having that CIC during certain course material, it's beneficial to have 2 CICs there. I think the idea was, like in a situation with us, if I get the flu, I'm in there with the flu because there's no other CICs available on our end, and that's not fair to the students and it's not fair to me. So this was a way that course sponsors could. The idea wasn't to always just have one person be a non-CIC at one location. It was just a workaround for those times when you were short. At least that's the way I understood it.
Right, and we have only used it once. I think.
Once so far that I'm
Once
aware
so
of.
far, so we agreed that we were only going to do it in case of that we had no one else.
And the thing is right now, if the technology fails, if we have 2 CICs, the CIC at the secondary site can present the material, so there's not a delay or a makeup class or something like that. So they still get the material that night.
Okay, so basically what you're saying is this is not a way for us to have it in Allegheny County then?
Oh, it is.
I think it has good potential, but I don't think that you can count on that being the only never having a CIC at that location. I mean, I don't think that that's beneficial either, Joe.
Well, I don't think the day will ever come that we have 8 people all at the same time.
Well, it certainly opens up the door, I believe, Danny. It does. I think the larger issue was technology and venue.
Thank you.
Any other new business? Okay, the next meeting is August 7th, here at STEMS in Olean. Motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made, second. All in favor?